What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the blue color, playing as Hades. His name is Kvoth. His opponent today in the red color, playing as Kronos. His name is Nullus. This is another random Voobly ladder game where everybody tries to beat everybody. And in the end, there is only one victor. You and me, I guess. These guys don't get to win here at all. Unless it says you are victorious at the end of the game, in which case, I guess they do win as well. So maybe there's more than one victor. Alrighty, Kronos here. Flavor of the month. Kronos is our flavor of the month. Patch 6.0 came with some very, very significant buffs for Kronos. And in all honesty, I think there's a certain type of Age Mythology player who really likes to experiment with new things being strong. There are lots of Age Mythology players and RTS players in general who are less inclined to try out new things because they know what works and they want to just keep doing the thing that they know that works rather than having to think about other things. It's a game. You kind of work the game out. You want to do your thing that you practiced, right? But this is the flavor of the month right now. There are players trying to get a hold of this new Kronos. Now, what's such a big significant change here for Kronos? Well, the big significant change is Kronos has got a extra 10% myth unit movement speed. So now it goes from 10% up to 20%. Now, I've already shown this off a little bit with how good the automatons are, but there are several things now for Kronos that are also affected in a really, really positive way. Thing number one that I think has yet to be fully fleshed out is the strength of a 4.5 speed satyr against Hades. The strength of a boosted Argus speed being very, very strong. The Hecagigantes are also decent, but right now we're seeing everyone being pretty excited about the behemoths, which, while I do understand having speedy siege is a nicety, what's better than speedy siege? Well, speedy units that can kill everything. Well, we'll see how things are going to go. Nullus is kind of fanning out across the map. We'll move over onto Kvoth's line of sight here. He's just about to drop that temple. A little bit late on the temple there, trying to hide it next to his town center, just outside of that line of sight of the Oracle. If you take a look at what Nullus can actually see with that one, it's expanding out. It's probably going to get to, I would say, about here. So he's not going to see that temple. He's not going to be able to get that deconstruction on it. Now, Kvoth here, with that relatively, it's not that late actually. It takes something like 40 seconds to build a temple from memory. So maybe getting it up at 250 is your time. No, I'm wrong. It is 40. It's 50 seconds. 40 seconds? I can't do math. Oh, yeah. There you go. So it's 40 seconds. So you can get it up and get it that advanced. And we see the Ajax coming out, which will slow Kvoth's advanced down quite a bit, but he is going to be going for this Dwarven Calipers, which is a really, really big relic there for him to have, helping out all the other good stuff. Now, Nullus on the other side here. Nullus is going for a late temple. He's going for an extra citizen. He is not going for a 430 advance time, which I think most Atlantean players would consider standard. For Ktoskopos, however, will be spotting these villages. And now Nullus has got to figure out how is he going to defend this. There's lots of different options here for Nullus. He can bring the Oracle back. He can heroize the Oracle. He can utilize these oracles over here as well to defend himself against this sort of early game pressure the Kvoth's putting onto him. It's not that big of a deal. So we'll see if he's going to be able to deal with it. The problem is, though, with Nullus going so late to the Classical Age, he's not going to be able to exert his early game presence, which is generally pretty good. One thing that Nullus could be, Nullus could be doing here is he probably should have attempted to get a forward temple down. Why is a forward temple so important? Well, the Ajax is here, a Promethean in Kvoth's base. That's damage. It also means that if Kvoth decides to send the Chiron forward, let's see if that's going to happen here. He has that queued up to come forward. It then means that the Promethean is going to be able to get damage onto the opponent's economy instead of you taking you sustaining damage. Or if you are going to sustain damage, you're also going to be doing damage to your opponent. Now, the villagers coming out here. Kvoth, he's going for a middle town center. A little bit risky to go for this one. There's not really anything close to it bar this wood line. This back one is much more safer, but it doesn't get you anything either. So just wanting to grab this forward town center and assert his position on the map, as we do see a town center coming up for Nullus on this location here, as the Promethean offsprings pop out. And Nullus is going to be attempting to get his town center up. Now, I'm not sure what the plan is after this, but having 2 town centers nice and early for Kronos is really, really big, because it means you get yourself a ton of extra favor to build yourself things like satyrs, to build yourself a whole bunch of very, very nice stuff. As the Chiron are going to be coming through, causing problems on the gold mine. There's also a Minotaur over here, but it looks like the Oracle is going to be coming over there to start harassing that one down. Nice play from Nullus. The town center is going to finish up. The Economic Guild finishes up there as well on the time shift. Now, Nullus, he doesn't really need to have gold income at this express moment here. But he's going to be attempting to defend. He can also get himself watchtowers out if he so chooses. Kvoth also now has his second town center up, as the Oracle's going to get a little bit of damage here. Watchtowers has been researched now from Nullus, and the Citizen's going to be returning him back. Does he have some upgrades? No upgrades just yet. I would be surprised to see him not getting upgrades relatively soon here. It's very much in the Nullus game plan. And Nullus, a Greek player himself, a Hades player, came up with an entire 9-minute build order for Hades against Atlantean, which includes getting yourself your hand axe, pickaxe, watchtowers, husbandry as soon as you get your town center up. It's a very, very nice build order. But now that he's playing as Kronos, does he want to get himself his plow? He wants to get himself his hand axe and pickaxe as well before he starts building military units. So definitely an option here, just getting those watchtowers up, nice and safe. No problems where that's concerned. But it does give Kvoth the opportunity here, and it looks like he's going for it. It gives him the opportunity here to get a 3rd town center. And guess which town center he can grab? You can grab this one. This one's going to be really, really big here for Kvoth if he so chooses. He does decide to drop some military buildings down first, which he didn't really scout this out as well as he probably could have. He's got that Chiron that could be circling around the main base of Nullus here, seeing exactly what's going on. He could identify there's no military buildings here, so I can grab that forward town center, and that would be totally fine. Guys, Book of Knowledge in the grasps here for Nullus. This one, this is just not that good. I'm not even sure it gives bonus damage for Mermillo heroes. Like, I think it's just for Mermillo. Anyways, we do see the counter barracks up. And is Kvoth doing anything 3rd town center-wise here? I do not see it. I don't think it's happening. So Kvoth is just going to try and out-economize and hold here with what he's got at the moment. Now, he will move forward and put his finger on the pulse here and prevent this town center from going up. Generally speaking, the Atlantean really, really wants to have 3 town centers versus the 2 town centers of the Greek. But whether or not that's possible, especially with an opening that Nullus has done here, will remain to be seen. Now, what Nullus can do, given that he's not really producing any military units, he could go for a really quick heroic gauge here. As he's researching something at the moment. What's he grabbing? Walls. Military barracks. Upgrades? I'm not sure what he researched then. He just spent a whole bunch of gold on something. Promethean? Oh, he's getting Promethean. Okay. So he's getting his Promethean out at the moment. But he could have just stopped at 500 gold, put his villagers over onto wood, built his farms, rushed the heroic age, and probably get a fairly decent 10-minute heroic age of some variety here. But instead, he's going to have a couple of units out that aren't going to really help him out all too much. Now, Kvoth here, still no 3rd town center. He's searching around for things to attack. There's still the problems of the watchtowers here, but there's no defenses around these towers. So if Kvoth wants, he could bum rush this because there's no military units out. And Kvoth is sitting out on this spot. He sees the one Promethean there, little poke in. Nullus is trying to hide his units here, hide that he's only got the one Promethean for the time being. Watchtower does get a Toxote kill, paying for itself in spades here, as Kvoth does pull forward just a little bit there to keep that one alive, as the Watchtower is now taken down. And Nullus is still on the back foot. Counter barracks coming up as well. Mana coming down. He's got 7 villagers on farms at the moment. More military buildings coming in as Nullus is trying to protect his towers over here. Could send some villagers in here to build some wall segments. It's generally the easier way to go about it, but obviously not happening just yet. Another thing here for Kvoth now, he's still eating these goats. He's still got goats, so he's still got a good amount of food income. He could cut military units, and it looks like he's done that to some degree, but he could completely cut military units, maybe even like 20 population earlier, 10 population earlier, and gone heroic age here and been in a really, really good spot because, well, Nullus has got no military units, so nothing's really going to happen. But we'll see how things are going. No armory still. Temple coming on the forward position here as that one's going to actually get taken out here. Nice play from Kvoth. That's going to really, really hurt Nullus. He can't really afford to be having to spend another 100 gold on this position, especially with only 1,000 gold in that gold mine. Now, he has snuck up onto this gold over here. Kvoth is aware of this as the Katoska boss is scouting that one out, and now Kvoth is going to be making his way up there. He's got a really, really strong army, and here's the thing. He's playing Hades. This is partly why what Kvoth is doing is good as well, even though it's probably game theory-wise, and if you're playing maybe a different civ, this wouldn't be as good as going to the heroic age at like 80 population in this situation. But with Hades against Atlantean, generally speaking, if you get to a full population with Hades, your army just doesn't lose. Now, the problem with that thought process is that, well, Kronos should be able to beat the Hades army with mass Satyr. Satyr is a big, big ticket unit that I think is going to be scary for Kvoth in this game. The question is, will Nullus actually be able to go for it or not? He does look like he's trying to grab this town center in the middle of the map here, and that one there is probably going to be a little bit too overzealous because Kvoth here at this point, he's got all his units on the front. He is going for a raid up onto this gold mine here. No walls up just yet for Nullus on that spot. A couple of units are sitting on the town center as a hero citizen comes forward. That's immediately going to be getting put a stop to as the units of Kvoth getting pushed back. Nice control from Nullus to catch these units out. Kvoth losing a lot of military value here as those Terma can really put a stop to those Toxotes. And then that front line, medium mill at this stage is going to be really, really strong. Well, let's see what's going to happen. I do think that Nullus does he have his armory? He does have the armory. Needs to advance, needs to get armory upgrades. The big advantage of playing Atlantean is your economy should be, and generally is, stronger than the Hades economy at this stage of the game. So you have to be putting effort in, and we see Rhea. Now, I understand the Rhea. Everyone's excited about it because you can steal away enemy myth units, but it's not... I don't think it's better than going for Hyperion in this matchup. Remember, Greek has only got 3 heroes in the heroic age, 2 in the classical age. There's that restoration. Nullus has to retreat back. With only having the 2 heroes, myth units are really, really good. Behemoths, also good, but, you know, they're not helping out killing off this army. And if you can't kill the army off, you can't really get much done. So we'll see if Nullus can figure this one out as the game continues. Military barracks coming down on the front here for Nullus. At the moment, with Kvoth going like mass infantry, he kinda, not mass infantry, but he's kind of going mass infantry. He kind of needs to get himself out mass Arcus here to deal with this, even though you might want to go for something like Contarius or something like that, but we'll see if it's going to happen here as units retreating away. That trade again comes directly onto that Minotaur, but nice delete there from Kvoth, taking that option away as a palace going to get dropped down onto this position as well. This is the kind of defense here for Nullus that he needs. He's fighting underneath these military barracks. He's got a lot of military barracks, but while this is going on, great raids here from Kvoth on this spot, doing a lot of causing a lot of idle time for these citizens while pushing back over here. And Nullus is struggling for gold at the moment. He doesn't have any gold. This is the problem. There's a market probably going up somewhere for trading. No market just yet as the chaos is a little bit too much. But a Promethean over here to defend, that's going to be a big, big help. We do see that the Temple is over here. I don't know where the Behemoth... as there's the Behemoth over here, so he can use that to push forward. Market getting dropped down now for Nullus. There is an opportunity for some sort of an implode here moving forward in this game. We'll see how things go as the army does retreat away. And Kvoth now going to regroup up onto this location here. If we take a quick look over to Kvoth's base here, he's on 3 towns and is going 4. Kind of understands that, well... Nullus doesn't have anything that he can really do to threaten this. Behemoths, maybe. Behemoths are maybe the scariest thing here, but in all honesty, if I'm Nullus, I'm probably not going to build any Behemoths. I'm probably just going to go to the Mythic Age. So Kvoth kind of knows that he's got a little bit more time in his like bank here before he needs to start really worrying about things. So it goes up to that 4th town center. It kind of works in a way. Thank you for the rating, Party Illuminati. Hope your stream went well. Kvoth's going to be retreating away. We just see the Behemoth coming down now, going to be starting to harass these units, these buildings over here. Chiron on the back here as well can kind of take out that Behemoth, but now we've got heavy Arcus through for Nullus. Upgrade-wise, these units are basically exactly the same damage-wise, but a little bit more HP for the Arcus at this point. So this is going to be some good fights now for Nullus to be taking, but Kvoth has got the hard population advantage. Nullus' best bet here is to get himself fortified town centers, but even then, Kvoth has got 160 pop to play with. And he's going to start getting himself armor upgrades and probably go to the next age here at some point. In fact, he is going to the next age through Aphrodite, which is going to be even more difficult here for Nullus to deal with. But Nullus will have himself implode, which will kill off a lot, if not every single one of these units. But Nullus needs to continue to keep Kvoth in this space. You can't let Kvoth separate the army like he's doing right now. He's sending them straight up to this gold mine. Kvoth knows this is the only gold mine which Nullus has got. He's walled off this bottom gold mine here as well. He knows there's nothing on that spot. So making a dart up to that location is going to be really, really strong. He's got the curse here to hold on the center of the map. In fact, uses that immediately there. Nullus, on the other hand, tries to build a palace, but he is too little too late. On that palace there, the citizens will need to retreat away. There is a retreat path through this gate, and he could potentially come up to this spot here. But again, with that Atlas coming through, you need the Hades player to be grouped for this implode to get value, as we do see a palace getting shot up on this location. But for 1,200 gold on that gold mine, I don't like this play at all from Nullus. I would love to see him get that up on that spot over there on that forward gold mine. But instead, he's garrisoned into the palace. You can get 8 units into the palace, but that's about it. The palace will help defend here for a little bit. Nullus can sell some resources for a little bit at the moment, but he is in a very, very difficult position here. As the Chiron here getting taken out as it runs forward there. The heavy infantry, heavy Arcus, Toxotes, Arcus. Heavy Arcus are in, but heavy, everything is in for both players. Now the Atlas is in here. Where do you click the implode? Do you click it in the middle here? So you try and drag all of these units and all of these units in, as the village is still getting harassed over here. We do see some destroyers getting produced out, but Nullus's problem here, it's still very, very big. We see villagers coming forward as well for Kvoth. But the problem for Nullus at the moment is he still doesn't even have fortified town centers here. He's getting harassed on his villagers on this position, and Kvoth is putting his foot on the accelerator and not letting go at the moment. 140 population. We do see the Argus is out. 4.92 speed Argus. This is a strong unit now. Move in, kill a unit, run away. Move in, kill a unit, run away. It's decent, but you can't. Well, that's a bug. Needs to be able to use that on the Hades Shade there, right? We can fix that. Why is no one telling me these things? No one uses the Argus, I guess. As a couple of units getting sucked in onto this location. Lots and lots of units getting dragged in to get killed off by this implode here. At this point now, Kvoth drops down to only 160 population. Yeah, Argus has never been able to use... Yeah, but it's... Let's just take a quick look at this. Argus is an amorphous creature covered with bulbous eyes. When threatened, the Argus forcefully excretes a sticky blob of acid from its many specialized tear ducts. Creatures trapped in the Argus acid have little hope of surviving. If that doesn't tell you that Hades Shades should also be included in the Argus special, I don't know what else to say, guys. I don't know what else to say. Anyways, another engagement here. Kvoth back up to full population. Does he also have fortified town centers? He's also got fortified town centers. There's actually no way for Kvoth to lose these fights anymore, because the Toxotes are just so strong at the moment with the numbers. And Nullus the only way for Nullus to come back into this game is to maybe sneak attack the back town center here. And maybe run some citizens through on this black thing and try and get set up here with a palace or something and behemoth timing on that or something. See citizens sneaking onto this gold mine over here for the time being as well. It's the only gold mine now that Nullus has got. He is desperately trying to hold here as the fire siphon pushing on the front, and that's even more population that's not going to be an army. You're not going to be in the army now for the moment. Even though Nullus is keeping up in score to some degree, he just cannot win any fights here. And Kvoth knows this. He just needs to slowly, methodically get himself forward, further and further forward in this game. We're seeing more Argus coming through here for Nullus. Kvoth at this point, he's going Artemis. Artemis means he's going to lose this town center, potentially that palace as well. There's no upgrades here for Nullus in terms of his building upgrades. So that Earthquake is going to get a peak amount of damage. As Kvoth coming back through, we do see a little bit of a raid now onto this position as a palace gets dropped up there. Mana coming through with the time shift as well for Nullus as this town center now getting itself. It's got fortified town centers already, but it's also getting masons. Deconstruction coming down onto the military academy as well, as Nullus still trying to hold here with his small amount of Arcus here on this location. Fire Siphon does fall. Toxoid is trying to take everything down. Fire Siphon going to attempt to finish off those hoplites on that position there as the Chiron going to come through and say g'day. As we do see these villagers over here getting sliced down on this position. The palace will finish up there for him as everyone else coming back underneath the palace. The palace does bring that population effectively up by something like 4 population, 5 population maybe. The Earthquake getting dropped down. Palace goes down. Town Center survives here. That's a little bit of a win for Nullus, but he's still going to be in a very, very difficult time here. And here's the big thing. In holding on to Trader here, in going through Rhea, all it's done is say to Kvoth, you don't need to build, you're not allowed to build myth units. And Kvoth just says, no worries, I don't want myth units. As opposed to going for Hyperion and Kvoth building myth units, not being so afraid of it, but still you get chaos and they're going to be annoying. And you get Satyr. Look at the favor in the bank here for Nullus. It's got 88 favor. He just hasn't been able to use it in this game. This whole strategy that Nullus went for was gearing up towards, as we do see the Chimera. Trader comes through. 6.36 speed. Chimera is obviously very, very nice here, but that's going to get taken down very, very quickly by the Chiron. The Fire Siphon gets taken out there as well. And what else can Nullus do? He's got no hopes left with those resources there. And that is the game. I mean, here's the thing. Kvoth played this really solidly, but Nullus, I think, something went really wrong for him early game. Going for a fast second town center as Kronos. The only thing I can think of here that might work for Kronos versus Hades in this specific situation is some form of 2 town center fast heroic here from the Kronos. Idea being to make mass Satyr. Because town centers, right? I can't tell you how much they, maybe I can. Hold on, let me quickly look. So town centers get 5.4 favor a minute. This town center, post game. Actually, we can just take a look. All favor total at, let's say, a 2 town center fast heroic while building farms. Let's just call it 10 minutes to be, you could probably do it faster than 10 minutes, but let's call it 10 minutes for your advance time. You're at 75 favor at that moment. That is 3 Satyr you can build, plus your free one. That's 4 Satyr right off the bat there. So long as you get out a bunch of Arcus as well, or a bunch of Contarius as well, to kind of take out the enemy heroes, you're laughing. You're laughing in a really, really good way there, and you can push back against it. I'm not saying it's an amazing strategy, but I think it's got to be the right way to go. But nice play from Kvoth. Nonetheless, played a very solid Hades. If you guys enjoyed this one, please consider the follow on the Twitch. From the YouTube, hit that subscribe button. There is another strategy I forgot. In regards to this 2 town center Kronos that we didn't see here in this game. Leto. Leto is cracked when you go 2 town centers. 75 favor 10 minutes into the game. 8 favor automatons. You're looking at 10, nearly, well, you're looking at 9 automatons, 10 automatons could get the free ones. Really, really strong. Obviously, maybe go for 9 and get an upgrade as well. The Hephaestus Revenge, that's what it's called. And then you can also queue that up with a bunch of Terma, a bunch of Murmillo to kind of take everything else out. Really, really strong idea. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one.